The English version: have you ever felt a quiet shift in the currents of your life? A change you can sense but cannot name. Perhaps a specific number appears not once, but many times in places you least expect. Maybe you find the echoes of your private thoughts in the conversations of others. Or a path that was blocked for so long suddenly clears, without any effort from you. It is easy for the mind to label these moments as chance, as a trick of perception, or as a simple coincidence. But let us consider a different perspective. What if these are not random events, but gentle currents guiding you toward a profound change that is already beginning to unfold? Ancient wisdom teaches us that life does not push us into transformation without a period of preparation. The process is not one of chaos or randomness. Instead, it moves with the elegance of a river making its way to the sea. It communicates through a language much older than words. The language of patterns, of rhythms, of events that align in a meaningful way. If you find yourself watching this, if some intuition guided you to these words at this very moment, it is very possible you are in a season of quiet preparation, becoming aware of a deeper conversation that has always been present. This deeper conversation unfolds through what many call synchronicity. It doesn't arrive as a loud announcement, but as a series of quiet ripples in the fabric of your daily life. The closer you draw to a significant inner or outer shift, the more noticeable these ripples become. Reflect for a moment on the last great change you experienced. Was it the end of a relationship, a new direction in your work, a move to a new place, or perhaps a fundamental shift in your understanding of yourself? If you observe with honesty, you will likely recall there were subtle signs leading up to it. Patterns that seemed insignificant then, but in hindsight, appear as clear guideposts on your journey. Here is a simple truth about the nature of growth. It is a gradual unfolding, a slow blossoming that allows you to adapt. To prepare you for this, life presents subtle reflections, like breadcrumbs on a forest path. They appear in countless forms. Once you cultivate the inner stillness to notice them, your entire relationship with your journey transforms. You cease to feel like a boat tossed by the waves and begin to feel the steadying presence of the current that guides you. You learn to move with it, as a partner in a silent, intelligent dance of becoming. One of the most common ways this subtle language communicates is through repetition. You may begin to see the same symbols, hear the same phrases, or encounter the same themes in many different areas of your life. Perhaps a particular animal consistently crosses your path, or you find yourself engaged in a similar kind of discussion with several different people. This is not the mind inventing patterns. This is the quiet highlighting of a message, an invitation for your awareness to rest upon something important. Numbers are a very clear example. Perhaps it is 11 times 11 you see on the clock, or 333 on a license plate. What if this is not a lapse in your logic, but an expansion of your perception? What if your awareness is simply tuning into a rhythm that has always been playing? Then, there are the people who enter your life, often just before a new chapter begins. Sometimes they are new encounters, individuals who carry the precise insight or energy you need for your next step. Other times, they are figures from your past who reappear with uncanny timing, holding a missing piece of a puzzle you are trying to solve. And often, it is a stranger who says the one thing you needed to hear, without any knowledge of the path you are walking. Disruption also serves as a form of communication. Your familiar routines may begin to feel restrictive. The ways you used to find comfort may no longer offer peace. The ground that once felt solid beneath you now feels unstable or unaligned with your spirit. This is not a sign of failure. It is a gentle but firm nudge, moving you away from a shore you have outgrown, creating the necessary space for you to set sail. During these times, your inner world often becomes more vibrant and rich with meaning. Your dreams may take on a new clarity, carrying insights and reflections on the questions you hold in your waking hours. This is your deeper consciousness becoming a more active partner in this journey of transformation. Even the simple objects around you can seem to participate in this dialogue. A device might play a song that perfectly mirrors your heart's true feeling. A book may fall open to a page with the exact wisdom you seek. Your physical space itself can begin to reflect your inner shift. It may feel too constricting or no longer resonant with the person you are becoming. The key to perceiving these signs is not to search for them with an anxious mind. It is about cultivating a state of quiet, open presence. It is a gentle willingness to notice the patterns without needing to force them into a logical box. The most transformative part of this journey unfolds when you begin to trust these subtle signals, when you stop dismissing every meaningful coincidence and start to accept them as part of a profound, intelligent flow that moves through all things. This change in your perception does not just alter how you see the signs, it changes your relationship with the very flow of life itself. If this exploration of inner listening and subtle signs resonates with the journey you find yourself on, consider joining this community. By subscribing and sharing, you help us continue to create a space for these conversations. Your presence here makes this shared exploration possible. There is a natural law of response in this process. The more you acknowledge the quiet guidance, the more clearly you perceive it. The more you trust the unfolding of your path, the more visible the path becomes. It is like learning to see in a dimly lit room. At first, you only see shadows, but as your eyes adjust, as your awareness settles, the shapes and forms become clear. This is how some individuals appear to move through life with a sense of grace and flow. They are not luckier. They have simply learned to read the subtle language of their own journey, to follow the inner currents instead of resisting them. But it is important to understand that this deeper awareness carries with it a quiet responsibility. Once you begin to see the interconnectedness of things, once you recognize you are part of a larger, intelligent unfolding, you cannot return to the belief that life is merely a series of random events. You become a conscious participant in your own growth, and therefore, you are invited to respond to what you see. This is where the path will test your commitment. It will send you prompts that ask for courage, not just passive observation. It may guide you toward conversations that feel challenging, but are necessary for your healing. It may open doorways that lead to landscapes you had never planned to visit. And your readiness to walk through these doorways, even when the destination is not yet clear, will determine the pace of your transformation. This is the point where many hesitate. We appreciate the idea of guidance until that guidance asks us to step beyond the familiar boundaries of our lives, beyond the identity we have built for ourselves. But profound growth rarely occurs in the places we feel most comfortable. The purpose of this journey is not to keep you safe. It is to help you unfold into your fullest potential. And this unfolding sometimes requires the gentle dismantling of the old to make space for something more true. The signs often grow more distinct as you approach the threshold of change. What began as quiet whispers may become clear and direct. The synchronicities may multiply, and the old ways of being in your life may begin to fall away with increasing speed. If you remain present, you will notice an underlying harmony even within this process of dissolution. Your intuition becomes your most trusted compass in these moments. You will begin to know things without knowing how you know them. You will feel a deep resonance with certain choices and a clear dissonance with others, and these feelings will prove to be remarkably true. This is not a magical power. It is the simple, natural result of learning to listen to the quiet wisdom that has always resided within you. The path also begins to clear itself. Obstacles that once blocked your way may dissolve, sometimes in forms that initially appear as loss. A job that was not in alignment with your spirit ends, freeing you to find work that is. A situation that was draining your energy comes to a natural close. What appears to be an ending is simply the preparation for a new beginning. Life is a master of concealing profound gifts within moments of challenge. Those around you may start to notice a change in your presence. Without any conscious effort on your part, they may remark that there is a different quality to your calm, a new depth in your eyes. This is the outward reflection of your inner shift. Your energy begins to resonate at a different frequency. You may find yourself naturally moving away from certain habits, conversations, or situations that once felt normal. This is not a judgment. It is the natural evolution of growth. You are simply becoming too vast for the small container of your past. The final space before a great change is often both the most difficult and the most beautiful. The signs are clear, but the familiar self may struggle to release its hold. You may feel as if you are standing between two shores, no longer belonging to the old one, yet not fully having arrived on the new. This is the moment where deep trust becomes your anchor. It is a leap of faith, guided only by the quiet certainty that something true and magnificent is waiting to receive you. The truth is, you are here for a reason. You were not brought to these words by chance. You are here because a part of you is awakening. You are here because you have been sensing the subtle shifts, and you already know, in the quietest part of your being, that your life is preparing for a beautiful transformation. The currents have been guiding you to this moment, and if these reflections resonate with that deep place within you where your own truth resides, then this journey has already begun. The signs will continue. They will become clear as your listening deepens. Your task is not to control the journey, but to simply walk it with an open heart. Trust the process. Follow the quiet guidance within. Remain open to the grace that wishes to unfold through you. Pay attention, be still, and trust, because the life your soul longs for is already making its way to you. To affirm your commitment to this path of conscious growth, consider making this space a regular part of your practice. Subscribing is a small, intentional act that supports both your journey and the journey of everyone who gathers here.